Abisa misa ma kwa baby Amanyosem dwumadi na guso a hwe fa edi atentamo amene o ka se yenua Kenneth Kabu National Communication Team member MPP and wagina jo as usual hey Kenneth Kabu NDC
that Bailout political party
as usual no ba document ni na obi ebiem se de o hata kunkunte na be yiri wa hapa this document ni edoso dan so ne enya kafu ya mega National Communication Team member the ruling New Patriotic Party MPP and also Jinedwa on sukuta document a wohwemu or the green pen aseke eniama ho document kura no e bread betu ajabeja form makwaba
enia
form ya there
Sami adom
and nsuo na toy na flood na affect mu bia
oh Sami dabi na me be kroma ba program and the traffic in the be krom in fact the traffic was way intense and I want to say streets no be so Friday until you have to skew to one side until it brought a bit of traffic in town but
now you suka ketwana na kese na
Sami ka ketwana me use
say ketwana use okay yeah
he's living within his means
God is alive
once I we there
nyameti ase okay Kab
yes I mean
bakode
nyamene hinu o unim say me no there will forever and kan ho nti ye sorry I say emfa asidema trade amponyame say waboaye me fa wo platform we so e chia ye hwefo me chia menwa kafui ye sure say na de any IMF all kuidie obema me very good hope for me to sleep nti em try amechia the leadership of NDC fraternity inshallah president that will be sworn in on the 7th of January 2025 John Dramani Mahama me chair the leadership of NDC
okay
me chair me constituent nene kakepe mami doyo kujo the various executives omo boyduma pa
okay
me chair the branch executives for Adan constituency and the nation at large
that is the na branch election
as at now yamfa date name by
now June and
yeah it was in June na so yeah biometric registration and we had some anomalies be once a bimun kocha some biometric cards edition with a whole lot into an audit.
Why is it like it looks like NDC as an opposition party has moon taking election serious this time?
Yeah, in Tiki.
Yeah, as moon taking it serious
because no. It
as we speak, some internal election crowd from branch, move from branch and small constituency, from constituency to region, from region to national, from national to flag bearership. MPP omuwa bemuno, menkase momo mbras MPP ayeno, the polling station election, wire constituency election, wire regional election this month, 16th, 17th, wire the national election. NDC is here to start.
Sammy, look, let me tell you, MPP they are jittering. Because someone say, look, getting closer to the election time, things will be tougher for them. Into the best thing they should have held their election as early. Okay. NDC, anytime I ever hold our branch election or regional election or constituency election, it's 2 years before an election. Okay. And as I speak to you, we are still within the year. We can
more time.
There's more time. Okay. Yeah. Now, so me bump. I'm sure by next month, branch elections will be held. Latest by September, October. Constituency will be held by December and early January. Region will go and the rest. And don't worry.
Okay.
They are just G2.
All right. Yeah, they came.
Oh
now,
yeah.
My main message is for I can answer a conversation. I say, good evening. If our natural resources and all our taxes did not help us, then IMF will equally not help us. Please, what we need is transformational leadership and not corrupt and wicked leaders. From Apostle Francis Daku and Odiwe Abreye. My question is it Ghana alone? Is it Ghana alone that was affected by the pandemic? They have nothing to say. They should stop throwing dust in our eyes. Good evening, Mr. Host. My name is Sani Abacha from Kumasi, Kenya. Say a brim. Was it this MPP government is a failure for sending Ghana to the IMF? If you throw a stone to the wall, it will bounce back to you. In the other Abano, we say Kwame Nkrumah said the black man is capable of growing governing himself. Now, surrendering to the conditionalities of IMF is a clear indication that we are still not independent and still under our colonial masters. Apostle Francis Dakwin and Sadiweyaba. We say, Mr. Hunto, good evening. What a solid team mentioned by Vice President. Where are they now? Are they now? Or say, where are they now? What? Or say, are they now what a liquid team instead of solid? They are a disgrace to Amagana, Misty Paul, Edifri Santa Maria, and Wadiaba. I say, good evening, sir. I say, good job. I'm Bernard from Obuasi. Nana Akufo-Addo should stop the IMF and go for Chairman Wontumi $3.8 billion he was going to use to buy Chelsea FC. Now, Kafui, una free abemu eba. Uchiranya nti money IMF delegation no moko akotena se. Ede na mo dey approach IMF a negotiation table no homegrown policy na mo dey approach them and say now why are we even engaging IMF after telling Ghanaians say I am going to IMF is the laziest and the incompetent way of managing economy.
Sorry, Mamemfa original FM for the KC. Original TV. Na me find chair RF4. Or majimre at this late hour no more day share. Na machia me region. Eastern region. Na mama me regional chairman. Jeff Kunedu. Yako. Wahwere ne maame nti ye mane yakọ
nansi a odi nkunimi na
wahwere ne maame nti ye mane yakọ na machia regional executives no na maba me constituency aba be chia me constituency executives especially chairman Abetunuama a wo lead the constituency no na obviously betumi reconcile the constituency ne back na same maba be chia Greater Accra region regional executives no nyina where I sit and do my communication. Chiomu nyina machia national executives the president. Machia mi nuya KK. Na nekake pem. Ba Kenneth Kabu. Machia no mi nuya ba kupe. Sami, you've asked a question. And then indeed the president has made his mind. Why not say Emra so say na ye engage IMF na ye hwe kwampa betumi afa so a sani o man ne kono ene the two prone issues na ye facing no which is relative to COVID and then the Russian-Ukraine war no.
Do you personally support the idea?
100%. Ama o how aba ekrumu no e kwan a ye bisi fa so a ye behwe na ya pe IMF support against our balance of payment deficits. Na etumiama ho ahen na yetumiama Ghana ejina brane. And therefore, based on that, then there was the need when the president did this assessment and looking at all the issues. I mean, remember Afrefuati say IMF is a fund Ghana is a signatory to. And it is not the first time Ghana is visiting IMF. IMF has been visited the 16th time, and in the Fourth Republic, every president has visited IMF. And you visited IMF no you sansuo no e de bre oman no ene timamufuo no no what just oppose no against the benefits that timamufuo no enso betumi anya. Enti no you can pinpoint some of the issues President Rawlings time in the structural adjustment program here, they call IMF to go and look at the issues. At Amel's time, he visited IMF. President Kufuor time, Emra, Juma, Yabaya, Yebetu, Yeno, Mino, Send no Mashisheno, no how womb, na Eniame Nina, Dane Trocano, Same, and President Kufuor, Ede Ghana, a call IMF under the EPIC program. The highly indebted poor country. And therefore, and then we can see the evidence of President Kufuor turning to IMF, sending a chichere o mine, and the kwanya yedi o mine jinaso. And after President Kufuor exited office, you be who or mine send your call here, and then we visited IMF under ex-president Amanyosem, and then against John Dramani Mahama. Sami, the idea and the process of going to IMF, we need what we call transparency. What is the reason why Ghana would want to visit IMF? Sami, Ghana is not living in an island from the two prone issues the whole world has encountered. Sami, when the COVID hit us, Ghana turned to IMF under the SDR, the special drawing right, which gave Ghana $1 billion. So when we turned to IMF under the SDR, $1 billion, it came into the country to stabilize the situation, to shore the country, and even world leaders applaud the president for his good handling of COVID in the country. I am a Ghana no ijina brane. Sami, marching forward, then we saw the Russia-Ukraine. People say Russia-Ukraine war. Then I war techimai. Na me do bayre. Na wokan Russia. Na wokan Ukraine war. Sami, the ripple effect has made several other countries turn to the IMF to support them on some of their programs. Sami, in the era between the time of NDC, they call IMF, and in this era, they call IMF, you can look at the number of countries that are turning into IMF. And Sami, evidence are there. Empirically, and this time around, you are having more countries opting for the IMF program than we have hitherto before. The countries that turn to
how
the
many
IMF program.
Asking for IMF for what?
Sami, if you look at the IMF report, 2014, if you look at countries that were turning to IMF for bailout, it was less than 10 countries. Sami, at that time. And then you have close to almost about 26 plus countries that are turning to IMF. That is the African countries.
For bailout or for IMF program? Because programs IMF for them and endorse.
Sami, most of them will be in the program schedules.
Okay.
A be call for bailout, a be call for total support, a be call for the extended credit facility. You see, IMF have several programs. And programs, and America say, you look at the several, and even World Bank, it's even saying, other countries now will definitely need support. Even as we speak now, World Bank specifically has given Lebanon support to be able to meet their food prices are escalating. It is, we are not trying to say, what Ghana now don't want to talk on my mind, but we are trying to look at what has brought us into this situation. The president, in his wish, never thought that after exiting that IMF program that was forced down our throat, that was harsh, and then we exited the program. The president never thought we should go back to the program, but because we had no controls over some of these things.
IMF program 2015.
IMF that was true.
Pause, yeah.
Okay.
IMF program under John Dramani Mahama, now a 3-year program, 2015 to 2018. Nobody no extended the call 2019. Nobody forced you to extend it.
Sami, say obi koji program. Na program na okoji yeno. Program no one just say you see the area woman say in this era the president has mandated several other ministries, department heads to engage on a larger front for Ghanaians to understand the reason why we need to turn to the IMF program. It wasn't so
so it's not about asking Ghana for say okay and in the four most of my now have a homegrown policy like your predecessor, and oh dear, you are going back to the same people, telling them why you are going to IMF.
Sami, I'm sorry if you begin to bring this because you see, I want to now let Ghanaians understand the essence. But if we are bringing that equalization, then
no, this is not equal. I just want to establish something.
But then I will have to veer now into my presentation to meet you where you want me to find myself. You see, because Sammy, you see, you have an ex-president who did not respect the country, and then to the point where he gathered people to go to Senche. Said, "Mumrani nyina yen chadwene na yen hwe policy ebetumi afa so. Ofiri wa do United States ekodi peace and odidi Ghana for atem." So wakọ say or IMF akọje policy credibility because of for say Ghana any credibility. Omo nkotra oni nyina no adwene bia ni omotrim. So he never consulted. He took a sole decision. Now let me come
policy to the credibility.
This is the same.
No, policy credibility no anything.
Sammy, policy credibility ne say papa no feel so otena ekrom ha. Na wo share adwene ode nkrofo ko senchi ko boy yaka. Adwene de ba ye nyina no could not even help him to gain credibility among the outside and way. So he needs to run to IMF. Na IMF won hwe say obetume de enhihye bi atwa obde be hye mene. Sammy, out of that painful exit of IMF was tabua yade tu adwuma so.
Okay.
Out of that painful exit of IMF was teachers and nurses whose allowances were cancelled.
Okay.
This is the same president who then was clueless, now is clueless, is trying to advise us on the way forward.
Okay. Why are
you cutting me in, Sammy?
Yes, Mission be free ho. Sansan so be sua for sua bibi. The meeting as it's a policy credibility ne say. Government no ankasa adopt homegrown policies. Our person dey remedy the economy. Already o balance sheet enye and to call where word market so kopebosia unya. And it's so called IMF policy credibility is the IMF air support said the be open access to a year foreign a year's monetary support say loan na me at the abuanwaje. Is that not the policy credibility?
And you know all corner. Na enhyehyya edaho because obi awu ko baby.
Is that the policy credibility?
The policy credibility is that you want IMF to become like a backbone.
Very
for
good.
You
it's like a guarantor. Is that's the policy credibility?
Absolutely.
Okay.
It is, I mean, this is where we find ourselves. But when he was going for that because already on one casano, that credibility be any no, because he has gone on an international station, they have put to him, Mr. President, looking at yourself, have you taken a bribe before? He was not able to answer straightforward. And it was a surprise to the whole country. Say, our whole president cannot understand and answer a simple question. Two, Sammy, this is the same man who want to mimic His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. And he has turned to delivering lectures at every little space he has. Even when he gets class 1 people doing jogging, you go and deliver a speech to them. Because he wants to mimic Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia for what he has done. And look at what he did. What he did was the fact that, Sammy, this same John Dramani Mahama wished evil for Ghana. That in his speech that he delivered, he wished that Ghana would become like Sri Lanka. And if Ghana will become like Sri Lanka, the issue is that Ghana call IMF. MIA facility with IMF. Ghana money tontroa. Now, if you are wishing evil for Ghana, John Dramani Mahama na adwene out no one statement no yedi apotobibre ayiyi. And if you wish this evil for Ghana, if Ghana boy, who also by the president, how would you fix it? Was it not the same man who told Ghana for say, on one day, Papa bet me Ghana for say, wari namna manaka dumpe. And therefore, swear namna manaka dumpe, and then that will be the flesh abefa ho. Then what flesh are you coming to take hold of? So I mean, we have come that far to understand that the economy to which we find ourselves, we have several social interventions. And if we are turning to IMF, we will need to be proud of ensuring that some of our social interventions will be protected for the safe and good of this country. And these are the issues we are speaking about. And It is say eba. We are here to let people understand that yes, President ne decided say obeko IMF, and by President deciding so obeko IMF, no, there are certain key things that is the reason why we are turning to IMF.
Talking about policy credibility that you find problem on what your predecessor did. This is what a Ministry of Finance, Iraq and Ofurata, and Omoleta Omode by 18-page. Me sure so when you be. Explain the answer. I have it all. Now, Ote, why has Ghana decided to seek IMF, to seek support from the IMF, from the minister himself, as is in the case of key EMS and FMS? Ghana is seeking IMF support to back its enhanced domestic program, which will seek to restore stability, help to contain the rising debt, and address the emerging BOP needs. So it means IMF. It means the government is seeking IMF support to support said the government now enhanced domestic program, which is the homegrown policy. To back. So how is it different from the John Dramani Mahama and this year in 2015?
And I make a choice say, John Dramani Mahama in 2015 went to IMF clueless. Clueless in the sense that if John Dramani Mahama himself has a clue why he was going to IMF, there are certain things he would not have sacrificed the country for. There are certain things you will not have sacrificed the country for because Emra now all call IMF no na onimu say or how near the bressa or mining. Now onimu say nkrofo nya adwuma anye.
Honorable Ken Ofurata, Nasmo Kae, why Ghana has decided to seek IMF support. Point number 2, balance of payment, support. Secondly, for concession, cheaper financing to shore up international reserves, stabilize the cedi, continue smooth payment for import, petrol product, into brackets, petrol products, pharmaceuticals, medical equipment, and
so
others.
There is clear.
And restore conditions for strong economic growth, including support for government flagship programs, while correcting underlying problems. And the focus in the what do you call IMF?
It is
now when you're in Munyam, what mean access?
Yes,
is that the case?
Balance of payment support. Can be
okay, mame.
Two no.
This is the point 2. Balance of payment support.
Sure.
Secondly, for concessional cheaper financing to shore up international reserves. Okay,
absolutely. It will trust or call for policy credibility.
Okay. You will get there because I idea what to be aka. What is the enhanced domestic program? This is what the government is considering. Obisa, was it the enhanced domestic program? It's a 3-year fast-track microeconomic stabilization program that seeks to restore investors' confidence and achieve fiscal and debt sustainability.
Sure.
The program is heavily driven by a mix of robust structural reforms and revenue expenditure and financing policies.
Absolutely.
So now, it will give the investor confidence because now so how is it different from the past?
What we are saying is that IMF na yekono. The main reason for attending IMF is to seek balance of payment support. And if you get the balance of payment support, all these things are attached to it. Because at the end of the day, if you are buying and you are importing and you are exporting, the difference that comes in is the support that you need. Once you get the support, automatically, if investors' confidence has gone, investors' confidence are called for more, and can you need $1 billion at that parliament say
okay.
If investors' confidence has gone down,
I will say the proposed program should span a minimum of 3 years and seek to achieve the following objectives. The enhanced domestic program now government consider strengthen government effort to restore investors' confidence in the economy, thereby regaining market access. Market access, talking about
that's why we are talking about the BOP
boosting development partners, disbursements, and unlocking other financing sources. Maybe restore debt sustainability and macroeconomic stability to support green growth, economic transformation, and job creation, while protecting social spending.
Job creation.
While protecting social spending.
Underlining, job creation.
Strengthen the central bank's monetary policy regime and IV build buffers to strengthen the resilience to the economy.
Sure, economic shocks. Economic shocks.
This is the same program John Dramani Mahama and NDC.
It is different.
Are you sure?
This is way different.
Are you sure?
Okay. I say to enhance job creation.
Okay.
Mahama was to curtail job creation.
Okay.
Okay. And you are going to compare Mahama to this one.
The producers Pacho call Amanyosem folder. And no, I folder no. You see a folder named IMF. Here the program I call and it's named IMF. Me Pacho go through that folder and get me the file and you continue from there. Or the two so I will go back to that place. So we revisit this one to discuss on this. But before that, let me engage brother so. Kabu. He spoke for 12 plus 7, we must say 19 minutes.
That's just Sammy interject me.
This is the program.
This is the program.
And the one better now, kasa,
12 minutes. 18 for 12 minutes, man, and for 7 Bianca.
So, Bacho, you have your 10.
Thank you, Sammy. First and foremost, let me state emphatically. Our predicament, you woman, is as a result of unsustainable debt and unrealistic your friend saying budget that was presented in 2022 MI. You see, most of the time I find it very problematic say you mean or kasano or can I say as part of the IMF bailout there was a freeze on employment. That's seriously the most fallacy statement that I normally hear from MPP communicators. Very, very, very fallacy. Look, Sammy, I have a data here that I can just buttress my point. Say, in terms of job creation, right? John Dramani Mahama was able to employ people at the public sector more than President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo in terms of 4 years. And the data is there. A difference of over let me see, 83,950. It's just on appendix 7A of the 2020 budget statement. Nobody should just get it in their mind. Look, you can just go and tell this to the Marine. That one you can just go scot-free. But once you come here, I will tell you to get it straight. Say, in terms of employment, we're able to employ more than more. Moreover, when it comes to or can be about freezing on your friends and teacher training and nursing training, yes, there was a reason for it. Because by then we're not having what we call the capping. And then as I speak to you, when you go to your friends and say, okay, teacher training, instead of them to just admission for some G40 say 500 or 1,000, because there was a capping on it, they were just taking only 400. Until there's a lot of backlog. Until we had a purpose for it. Sammy, why are we here?
Okay.
Facts are facts, and they speak to what it is. Sammy, look, this is not the first time I hear call IMF, and everybody to say how okay, this is not the first time, and can be the first time I hear call IMF. But Sammy, could you believe, say, the whole of from 1999, up to 2016, I hear call IMF no. It's not even up to 2 billion. It's not even up to 2 billion. From figures may one. Until let MPP get it straight. Say, look, they had everything wrong. Sammy, look, there are some areas that are very, very critical in case whether your debt is sustainable or not. Look, one is your debt to GDP. You take your inflation, you take your growth rate, you change your exchange rates. These four fundamentals are just critical. Say, no matter who you are supposed to make sure it goes. I don't want to buttress and I don't want to waste my time on 1999, 2020. Now, can make mama data that shows you call IMF as a result of this. This is what we had. For example, you call IMF in 1999, right? You call IMF no. Our debt to GDP was 55.7%. Our inflation was 4.9%. Our growth rate was 4.4%. Exchange rate was 0.24%. as compared to 2002, President Kufuor IMF. Okay, time obey we your friend saying this HIPC or called HIPC, right?
Highly indebted.
Yes. By then, our debt to GDP 2002 was 58%, and the debt to GDP was 55. We went to IMF, almost 58%. Inflation was 7.8, NDC was 4.9. I'm talking about 1999 and 2002. Growth rate was 4.4 NDC. The growth rate they had was 4.5. President Kufuor. Exchange rate was 0.24. Theirs was 0.82. Very good. The next one hereby was 2003. 2003, right, to 2006. By then it was Yaosafo Manfo and Kojo Banredo. In 2003, our debt to GDP was 78%. You call HIPC, you call IMF on in 2003. You call Hodmon. They gave us a credit facility. Into Usha the debt to GDP in 2006, we dropped from 78 to 18.5%. That's a significant achievement. Inflation was from the same MPP for data I'm giving it to you. 29.8%. It dropped inflation to 7.8. IMF did well. That was 2006. Growth rate was 5.2. It dropped to 4.8. Growth rate came down. Exchange rate 0.87 to 0.92. Yes. In 2009 and 2012, and this year called IMF, okay, the first one from Professor Moss.
Single spine.
Very good. By then, the debt to GDP in 2009 was 26.8%. From 26.8%.
Debt to GDP, no ncha say nyina say, o to man Ghana Japadi nyina.
Very good.
O do how much paying saying.
Very good. That amount. 26.8%.
26%.
In 2009. Very good. In 2009. The same 2012, we went to the same IMF. That we had about 35.4%. That's a debt to GDP, which is a problem. Inflation was 19.2. It dropped to 7.8. 2012. Growth rate was 4.8. It jumped to 9.3. Atamos regime. Exchange rate was 1.46. Equal 1.90. The next one, it's their John Dramani Mahama. I'm giving you the facts and figures. My brother here can check from any of their sources. I'm comparing debt to GDP. I'm comparing inflation, growth rate, and exchange rates. Then she said, Menewo, who had mismanaged this economy before they went to IMF? Sammy, in 2015, before we were going to IMF, our debt to GDP was 53.9%. And then our debt to GDP is 81%. And then as I speak to you. So are you comparing this abysmal performance from you in terms of debt to GDP to NDC? Absolutely no. It's only, excuse me, somebody who doesn't understand anything will just join your hymnals and sing with you. Inflation, during the time of NDC called IMF, it was 17.1%. MPP, 27.6%. As I speak to you, inflation that will come this month is around 31 or 32%. Mark my word. I'm telling you, just mark my word.
30 to 31%.
Yes, that's the inflation we are going to get. Growth rate, we had it 2.1%, and then as I speak to you, 2020, our growth rate is around 3. Exchange rate 3.77. As I speak to you, it's 8.1. So based on this, are you trying to tell me you are far, far better? Look, Sammy, let me tell you this today. This economy was mismanaged by this poor, inept administration led by your friend is saying President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, who had no knowledge about anything concerning this economy. Sammy, let me tell you this. Most of the time, MPP felt they are dealing with lunatics, or excuse me, I withdraw the word lunatic. They are dealing with kids, so they can just bring out anything and they will just go scot-free. Sammy, share my mom these figures. In 2017, share in 2017. Oh, you can give it to him in 2017. Sammy, in 2017, 2017. Okay, I said President, your friend saying, what's the name of Baumia? I say, oh, they've arrested the dollar and they've given the key to the IGP. They went for 2.5 billion bailout. For 2.5 billion loan every Frank Templeton with an exchange rate, with an interest of 19.5%. Until when they brought those money, the city was doing a little bit good. After that, things were going very bad. Look, Sammy, as I speak to you, our tax revenue to settle debt under Nanadu Dankwa Akufo-Addo and Baumia, the one-eyed man within the NPP who they touted, say he's the economic wizard. No. Look, let me give it to you. In 2018, we were using 66% of our tax revenue to settle debt. In 2019, we were using 73% to settle debt. In 2020, we are using 87% to settle debt. 2021, we are using 90% to settle debt. As I speak to you, the first quarter, we are using 108% to settle our debt. You wake up and say you are the best managers of the economy. Sammy, they normally tell us it's because of the COVID and the Ukraine war. Sammy, let me say it emphatically.
Wrap up 3 minutes of this part.
Why?
3 minutes more.
Oh, I just started Wi-Fi. Sammy,
because look, I'll be going back to the screen for us to come back.
For me to come back. Okay, thank you. Look, another area of great concern. Almost say, oh, because of COVID. Sammy, in 2020, COVID, the revised budget was 45 billion. They ended up having 47.5 billion. An excess of about 2.5 billion. One team in country said that particular achievement you had, that particular COVID time, you couldn't do anything with it because your revised budget, you've exceeded it. Moreover, Sammy, most of the times MPP for almost because of COVID. Another one, COVID, we had an money about 19 billion. Sammy, we had 19 billion. 19 billion. What was the total amount that we used? About 12 billion. 12 billion. We had 12 billion. The rest of the money, also budget support.
Yeah, sorry, support.
Budget support.
Yeah.
Budget support. I presented the same way Eddie Mami brother said. Unshare the expenditure column. Say whether we had any budget support over there. Result, there's none. Another one, MPP for Airba. Say, Ukraine war. Sammy, Ukraine war started in 2022. February 2022. So Ufa in terms of debt to GDP outlook. You can just look at it. Look at what is going on. Look at the trend. I took it from City Online. It's there. Look at where we are in terms of our debt before 2022. So it showed clearly, said, they have nothing to offer the good people of Ghana. Another area of great concern for me, it's about MPP4. Almost sorry, I should have it. Just go through it. 1.2 billion. Well, the debtor and the woman MPP had problem with. They said they are the best managers of it. Use a special purpose vehicle on some expenditures which is not appearing on our budget because in terms of our debt. BBT say, for example, Get Fund. When some people went in for a loan of 2.4 billion, it's not being recorded in our books. They are treating it below the line. They went in for another this amount, energy sector debt. Energy sector debt is not part of our budget. And now, in terms of our debt, it's not part of it. They are treating it a special purpose vehicle. As I speak to you, as at yesterday, there was an amount of 8 billion in the energy sector levy. they are not even, they don't know what to use that money for. As I speak to you, we are owing IPPs more than 15 billion. It's not part of our books. Only Sino Hydro.
Yeah.
Yes, MPP went for Sino Hydro about 2 billion. But the 2 billion was coming in trenches. Look, as I speak to you, they've utilized about $620 million. That amount of money is not appearing in our books. So look, NPP is giving us their massaging executive figures to suit Ghanaians. Look, IMF is come to expose them. But look, let's just relax and let's see what will happen.
Okay.
Look, Sammy, just a minute for you to go on this. Look, Metiese Osi is going for budget support. And as part of their measures, they say they are cutting about 30% expenditure. Am I right?
Sure.
Yes, Sammy, let's do a simple arithmetic. This government said the total revenue is about 100 billion 516 million 846 109. Right. And the expenditures are something that we say CAPEX, capital expenditure. You have the right. I'll bet me cut. There are some things that you can't cut. Compensation and amortization. Can you cut it?
No.
You can't cut it. And no, 45.390 billion. Compensation, salaries. Can you cut it?
No.
You can't cut it. Once they are working, you claim they are working, you pay them. That is 35.841237.277.
Okay.
Another one, statutory payment. Look,
So
statutory payment.
It's
Supreme
backed
Court,
by the Constitution.
you can't cut it.
Sure.
And no 31,924,364,731. If you add this three, you are getting 113 billion 174 153 587. That's it. Moreover, we'll say you need about 135 billion because the other amount is from a donor partners.
Okay, my main message kakra.
Oh, Sammy, you are you've distorted my thoughts. You've distorted me because yes. It's
And I said something
you are getting about 113. Do a simple arithmetic. Until almost 30% I almost say they are cutting. Where are they cutting it from?
Take effect.
It's not taking anything. It's not taking anything. Because you don't have the money.
One component.
You don't have the money. The thing is, you don't have the money. How can you cut? Do you have the money? Do you have the 100? Do you have the 135 billion? You don't have it. Okay. So where are you cutting it from? Okay. So they should go and just deceive their followers who don't want to research or who don't want to learn. But to the good people of Ghana, they are learning and they are descending. And they knew say what you just said is nothing that can work.
Okay.
And okay, we
right.
Go to your screen.
I make messages
because it become 4 minutes.
Yeah,
when you go to the screen, it become 4 minutes.
Can I ask why you are not among the media who are going to the IMF? Media going to the IMF. Anyway, we say, please, good evening, Kojo Amora from Maye Estresso Adija. Was now incompetent Akufo-Addo is going to IMF. Greetings to Yao Bema. And what they about say, please, how much did people chop before they were shot by firing squad by Jerry John Rawlings? May God judge us all. Apostle Francis. We say Akufo-Addo and his government is a total disgrace to Africa. Kwame Nkrumah said black man is capable of managing his own affairs, but now we are proving to the white person that those black men that are capable of managing their own affairs, Ghana is not part. We say good evening, please. This government has disappointed the youth totally. They use the youth to vote for them during 2020 election, and when they won power, they have dumped them somewhere, refusing to give them jobs. And those doing temporary jobs are also not getting paid. This IMF will not generate any positive result. This is confidence from Bojiase. We see, if I were the member of the IMF, I wouldn't approve this help. I wouldn't approve to help Ghana. How do you get millions of dollars to build a national cathedral instead of building businesses which can provide jobs and income for the state of Ghana? We say good evening, Original TV. My name is Jeremiah Kwesi Obo. I say I call from Capital Hill. So Simon Hunter, you say Simon Hunter, you do all. Please, MPP is a disgrace party. Akufo-Addo, na IMF. And what about the good evening say that MPP man and the so-called NDC man over there should all excuse. They should all excuse. They have shown us how incompetent they are all, wicked leaders. See you or you will all pay at Jana for supporting lies. But for this Nanado government, there's more than a monster, wicked old man, after borrowing $7.6 billion US without accountability in the station. Edmond from Lazarus said, Edmond Lazarus, was it what a joker? How do you even justify the former President Mohammed's want to mimic the incompetent vice president? Still, Jerry from Ofankosi, God bless you for the show. Yeah, that's what. So why IMF? You could not explain for us to understand. Rather, JM is now your target. Hey, this MPP guy, what a solid team indeed. Misty from Santa Maria. We see government want Parliament to approve another $1 billion loan to boost the economy. Even KG1 student won't think like how our president is thinking. I'm disappointed at this, at his wife. First lady, doesn't she advise her husband? We see Nana is African Putin, very wicked, no fear of God, yet you want to build a cathedral. This man, he won't enter heaven at all. We say, hey, MPP, please, is he part of the men Bawumia was talking about? When Bawumia realized the economy has collapsed, he quickly switched to the digitalization. Bawumia is indeed a home economist. Mahama went to IMF for policy credibility, yet you came to power to extend it to 2019. So, in actual sense, IMF was ruling Ghana from 2016 to 2019 and not the MPP. We say, good evening, Sammy. Please tell the MPP man to stop justification he is doing and say something better. We say, I think all those who had high hopes in Akufo-Addo have been disappointed. They thought Akufo-Addo would be the Cristiano Ronaldo among the president of the Fourth Republic, not knowing that he doesn't qualify to play for Division 3 Impo. Ima from Takrade no di we dia. But now, this is 2015. 2015 IMF Bailout ye call here. This is from IMF website to call her because this was not part of today's editorial. I did this editorial yesterday. But I won't come back and be also the program. In early 2015, Ghana turned to the IMF for $919 million US to help stabilize the economy. IMF advisors working with the Ghanaian government developed a three-part program. Now, you heard a three-part program now we develop here. No? By a quick one, restore debt sustainability. So the debt sustainability is here. The government limited hiring and wages increases and eliminated subsidies for utilities and petroleum products to raise revenue. It cracked down on tax evasion and rationalized exemption. New revenue sources, including a tax on luxury cars and increased taxes. So this is the program. Take me to another one. Jot it down. Jot it for time. Jena peso bisa. Let me finish for the sake of time. Strengthen monetary policy. The authority agreed to gradually end central. We are educating the listeners. We will get to time. Strengthen the monetary policy. The authorities agreed to gradually end central bank financing of the budget deficit, a major source of inflation, and to fortify the inflation targeting regime. So this is where the project. Go another one for me. Okay, clean up banking sector system, banking system. An asset quality review, significant undercapitalization. Some banks were recapitalized, and the Bank of Ghana used its newly enhanced authority to wind down insolvent lenders. The central bank developed regulations to ensure that banks meet sound underwriting and credit evaluation standards. It also paid back insolvent microfinance institution depositors. Take me to another page. Quick one. Let's go. The outcome. It was the outcome. Ghana's economy on the mend. Is on the mend. The trade and budget deficit are narrowing. The pace of economic growth is poised to raise to 8.8% in 2019. From 2.2% in 2015, the inflation rate is projected to to 4 to 8% from almost 19%. Take me to another one, the outcome. Take me to another page. Cut to wasteful spending made room for much needed social services such as free secondary education for Ghana's 28 million people. It all adds up to higher incomes, better job opportunities, and more purchasing power. Still, Ghana remains largely reliant on foreign financing, exposing its swing in investor sentiment. Maintaining fiscal discipline will also be a challenge. This is IMF. And he went there for policy credibility. This is the so IMF is doing symbolic.
Oh, dear, you see, Sammy, dear Muhammad is highly symbolic.
I'm on the floor, right?
Oh, that you're on the floor, sir.
I was
2 minutes. Wrap up. 2 minutes.
Sammy, idea where we are about to
wrap up 2 minutes.
The explanation, Look, in 2016, IMF predicted already, said because of the prudent management of the economy, the Ghana economy is going to grow by an additional 8.8%. In 2017, 2018, they were able to have a growth in terms of our GDP growth. 2019, we dwindled. And most of the time when you listen to MPP for me, moreover, Sammy, in all the years, John Dramani Mahama, tax and others, total sum was 220 billion. President Nanado, Obaeno, in terms of tax and friend said bond and other ones was 506 billion. If you get this analysis, you find out say, what the year then? Look, what were the flashing programs? Free SHS. How much did it cost Ghana? 7.2 billion. Free SHS, 7.2 billion. Another one, planting for food and job. It cost the nation about 3.1 billion. Add the two. Okay. Look, let's come to the capital expenditure. Capital expenditure, when I take the budget statement for you, in terms of capital expenditure, they are nowhere near NDC. In terms of capital, whilst NDC is within 7.2 and now 6.5 no, and the MPP are within 1.2, 1.3. Let's come to a red sector growth without adding oil. Where were you? It is sometimes don't ever sit say because you people had the passion, because you had media guys who don't want to research but just go to your line anytime. Hey, okay. He made mention about John Mama mimic about me. Look, we don't have time. Draman Mama had no time for your friend saying Baumia. Look, the vision of this man supersedes that of Baumia. We don't have time for it. Okay. Look, compared to what Baumia and the wife, Samira said about John Mama. Samira, the second lady, said about John Mama. And the same wife, the same husband of Samira, who is the economic management team, performed abysmal. Are you comparing this man, Baumia, to John Dramani Mahama?
Okay, quick one. Quick one. I mean, Kafui. When you look at this MPP man insulting Mahama, you don't fear God at all. When you good evening, I'm Afrani Electricals, Pakoso Estate, Kumasi was saying, I'm as usual enjoying the great show at home and more grace to your elbow because you are doing a great job. Greetings to the theocracy church members from Afrane Electrical Pakoso Kumasi Estate, the way if Estate Kumasi no about. See, my name is Waja Emmanuel, but MPP government said they are going to get money through the e-levy. But why are they going to IMF for bailout? Because they see e-levy failed to show up. We should about say, please, Sammy, please tell the MPP man to support his statement, documented facts, as his friend is doing. This is Ben from Kaswano de Abba. Resi, please. I see where you are aware that education minister from Bosomtwe is lying. Anyway, Resi, good evening, Sammy. Where is Ken Ofuriata? I'm told Nanado is leading the team. Who will be meeting the IMF? Is this Kwame Nkrumah's Ghana? Nanado has destroyed Ghana. The economy of Ghana went into the abyss in 2019 after they squandered all proceeds John Dramani Mahama left behind. The Aceh mafias are today richer than Ghana. MPP never again. Ghanaians will approve them like cassava come 2024. Yenya fat temanodi aba. We say Nana Kwata, Nana Kwata in Tuba School Junction or double say. MPP and NDC are all the same, and it worries me so much because there is no other strong political party in Ghana to take over. That's why these two parties are taking Ghanaians for granted. Why am I saying this? I have realized that when one is in power, either MPP or NDC, they all chop Ghanaians' money among themselves, and when it gets triggered, it's where they plan together to let the opposition come out for a kind of demonstration so that the attention of the missing money will be drawn out from that moment. Shame on you all. God will punish you for your bad plans to the innocent people of Ghana. You know that about Kabu? Okay.
Kabu,
5 minutes to rebut.
Not for the main question.
Yeah, 5 minutes to rebut.
5, and you give me the 5.
I will also have your 5 minutes.
Same, Minuya Kabu Kasano, Opulu documents be by a free CTV.
Yeah.
CTV. And then we have a viewer who is saying, say, improve your facts with documents. Same, the person mechre, a man of 40 years and say, sa document we a free CCTV. CCTV.
Yes, online.
Online and offer free.
Yes.
No, online portal. No. But some of the document is telling you, say, any time MPP is in government, we perform better than NDC.
How does this?
The evidence is that Sami Oshe in 2006,
2006.
our debt to GDP was 18.5.
Hold on. You said 2000.
I don't need 2006. Debt to GDP 18.5. Sami inflation was 7.8. And our growth rate was 4.8. And at the exchange rate depreciation was 0.92. Sami over 2009, Dr. Dufo taking over the reins as the finance minister.
With the greatest of respect, we say in 2000
2006. The debt to GDP was 18.5.
Debt to GDP.
Yes.
2016.
2006.
2006.
Oh, I don't need
2006. Go ahead.
Debt to GDP was 18.5. Sami inflation was 7.8.
But you should have explained to the good people of Ghana, say, the more reason why we had a
I
GDP.
have 5 minutes.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Oba, Emra Yebenya Dr. Dufono. 2009. Under his watch, debt to GDP rose from 18.5% to 26.8%.
Yep.
Sami, inflation shot from 7.8% to 19.2% in 2009. Sami, growth rate. And now what many more say growth rate you cost Sami, it was maintained at 4.8%. And the exchange rate depreciation, instead of 0.9 2%, no,
0.24.
It was 0.92%.
Look, you are this 2006. You take that.
And I make us a
Okay, go ahead. I'll have everybody. I gave you the document.
Hey, so I'm speaking to the document.
You have the time.
Sami, and the exchange rate every year 1.46%. Sami, now you just oppose the situation among 2009 and 2012. The performance against themselves.
Yes.
Set time, Sami, debt to GDP rose to 35.4%.
Debt to GDP. Yes.
Sami, inflation equal etiba 7.8%. Growth equal 9.3. Exchange rate equal 1.90. Sami, you bring it sharp in contest.
Yes.
to Sektepe na no hono in 2015.
Yes.
In 2015, Same, Sektepe under his own watch, moving from 2012 after the elections coming into 2015, you know, this is what he performed.
Yes.
Same, oh yeah, debt to
2050,
GDP.
that was when we went for
IMF, yes.
The debt to GDP at the time was 53.9%.
Yes. And today, what is it? Okay, sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
Same, inflation at another time in 2015, you know, it should took us 17.1%.
Yep.
Growth rate at about from crap
Saying.
about 2.1%.
Thank you.
And an exchange rate of the city, you know, a depreciated by 3.77%. Same, come to 2019.
We are look, Sami, with the greatest of respect.
We are kind of time. I can't 1 minute. Jot it down.
Sami,
Wrap up. 5
come
minutes.
to
1 minute.
2019, before COVID, and before Russia-Ukraine war, na enkrofo nhwese ne na economy na akono na ejina so na adwuma fa.
Na indication in saying.
Sami, your debt to GDP at the time was 62%.
Yeah.
Debt to GDP.
Debt to GDP.
Okay.
Some inflation came from 17.1% about 7.8%. Some growth and no major poto na mining to me na nyina ye poto na ye twene ma wokota so no yet me peja growth at the core 6.2%. Some these indicators chere ahwefo say what do your mine share MPP inside? NPP to me show mine so ye e ma mine gina brane na same enye hwe a ye ko structure adjustment program na me bisa sama me bisa questions wa program na nkasa kire fete say ye bet the tabu betu adwuma so e wo ho onim na ni tua se ade ya wo ko e be
how
ya
to translate because limits what limit here is different from freeze.
Same yes ye the tab onim se e how beto amenam enso se me kwa akotom Same enipa ne de yakoye o de yakokoto mu e ma ye to amena nu gban
But what was the outcome?
Have you finished?
The out what time na so to where me 1 minute to go to move on. The outcome was that according to IMF or Mwankasa let on the page and say the outcome was that Ghana was able, the economy was
outcome no na wo you. Outcome no.
O person
Same
to wasteful spending made
Sami, you know this guy is playing a diabolic game.
This is the outcome.
Should be smart.
Sami, you should be smart than him.
Okay.
Sami,
take your 5 minutes.
Please,
take your 5 minutes.
Why are you cutting me off?
Masa, give me my
That's your
document.
time,
Please give me my document.
You won't get me again.
Sami, yes, he's playing to play that
diabolic.
Sami,
take your 5
to be
minutes.
honest
It's
with you,
because you don't want us to.
this shows how diabolic my brother is, and I'm come to expose him. Sami, of our 2019, by then you people were not going for IMF bailout.
Sure.
I'm comparing my 2015 American
IMF no.
Look, Okan say Osafo Manfo in terms of Omukọ HIPC. Look, you were able to achieve this growth because you went to HIPC. You went to HIPC in terms of your debt because all debt that you owe was cancelled. About 75% was cancelled. It in terms of your debt, you are going to have a higher debt or a lower debt to your GDP. So get this arithmetic clear. Sami?
It's exposed now, we're exposed.
Yes, I've exposed you. Now, in 2020, we are going to IMF
for 2020.
Now as I speak to you, a debt to GDP.
And I'm saying data for 2020.
Sami, he
are
said,
speaking to
look,
data that
look, this is 2019. And we are going to IMF in 2020.
In 2020,
and I'm giving you to
what
say,
was the,
your
what
debt
was
to
the
GDP is 21. Look,
have you forgot the COVID economy?
Don't ever use COVID.
This
is the most abysmal. Sami, the most important one, sometimes you talk about COVID. Your peers. But me see, when you have a pandemic in the world, you are saying say Ghana is being affected. Why don't his peers? You have Togo, Benin, and the African Council. Let me give you what they did. Their inflation and others, and compare it to the abysmal performance of your government. who knew nothing. Look, I'm giving you the gross monthly wage for even Togo. Togo, a minimum wage per country. Ghana, 421 Ghana cedis. Burkina Faso, 469. Ivory Coast, 810. Nigeria, 779. They are your peers. Inflation, they are also part of the COVID. They are also part of the COVID. Inflation, Benin, 2%. Ivory Coast, 3.5. Senegal, 7.40. Togo, 8%. Burkina Faso 15.30, Nigeria 17.71, Ghana inflation 27.6%. Let's come to fuel prices. Fuel prices. You are asking me say omudi there. Omudi your friend is saying.
First one, men fans also. First one. Okay, omudi there.
Na can be the man. Na MP before mu boadi.
Men fan man.
Price of fuel. Share Nigeria. They are selling it 3 cedis 26 pesos.
And fuel no munya biton.
3 cedis 26 pesos.
Fuel no munya biton.
7 cedis 65 pesos.
They don't get that.
Togo 7 cedis 97 pesos. Burkina Faso 9 cedis 12 pesos. Ivory Coast 9 cedis 38 pesos. Ghana 10 cedis 22 pesos. The one Omoya Adechem Senegal 11.35. Okay. As I speak to you the cost of my abysmal performance from your government and President Nanadu. Look, Sammy, we have what we call economic buffers. Economic buffers, right? BBT is a Ghana Stabilization Fund, Heritage Fund, Sinking Fund, Cocoa Stabilization Fund, Ghana Exim Bank, Get Fund. These are economic buffers during the time of NDC were very, very strong. For example, BBT is the Stabilization Fund. COVID buy, the $250 million Iowa Stabilization Fund, they've taken that money. Okay. Be some then Miria Sami. Exim Bank, Ghana Exim Bank, Banker John Dramani Mahama, ACD 200. You were able to go in for about $250 million, another $250 million from Exim Bank. Okay. At the year, one village, one dam, there be one district, one factory. So another one. Another one
is there for you to see.
Auditors
your time is up.
It's there for you to see.
Your time is up. Your time is up. Your time is up.
It's there for you to see.
Your time is up.
It is not getting and confirm what it took off.
Hold on.
We are talking. Look.
Now let's take something. Let's take something. This is for our viewers. 2015 you call IMF. 2022 you call IMF.
Yes.
You have some figures.
Yes.
2015 you call IMF. Now inflation is 17.15.
Thank you.
2022 inflation is 27.6%. The change from 2014, before I ever call IMF 2017, the change was 1.6%. From 2014 to 2015, before we went to IMF on 2015. The change from 2021, the change from 2021 to 2022, 20.1%. The GDP, gross domestic product, a brand I call IMF 2015, now my Ghana, Japan, they na $47.5 billion. Projected a year 2022 GDP, according to Finance Minister, projected the year say economy to grow, which is 64 billion. Annual GDP growth, as a brand new call IMF 2015, annual GDP growth was 2.1%. It's captured in the IMF document. 2022 projected growth. Government are projecting 5.3%. A projection. Yentimi and realized because that's all 2022. Yes, now, you have the basic bread and bread butter. Petrol. A liter of petrol. A brand new call IMF in 2015. Now, 2 Ghana cedis 88 pesos. 2022, a liter of petrol. 11 Ghana cedis 59 pesos. A liter of diesel. You call IMF 2015. Now, 2 Ghana cedis 79 pesos. And a liter of diesel is selling at 14 Ghana cedis, 59 pesos. So this is when Ghana went to the IMF in 2025 versus 2022. This is a basic.
So let's speak to the data.
Okay, let's speak to the data. Let's go.
If you look at the data you have presented, sure. In the current state that you're finding your own in, we are being confronted with COVID. We have been hit by Russia-Ukraine war. And the world, all the world is going into stagflation. The whole world they see economic recession as tabled by John Mahama in his write-up. Sammy, we have performed better
Really?
By showing you the projected gross domestic product, which is giving us almost about 64 billion.
Projected.
Yeah,
Sammy,
projected.
you could have used 2021 if you wanted to have been fair.
Sammy,
And then no.
2021 IMF.
Sammy, and I say, say bibi abekwa. Odi fi echire and how they burn him. You did the change from 2021 to 2022. So why didn't you project the 2020?
We did a year effect in terms of inflation.
Sammy,
we didn't do it with
and
the
GDP.
GDP.
Say, so if you are doing it, now you see projected 64 billion. We are far better than what NDC did abysmally in 2015.
Projection.
Sammy,
if you realize it, we are better.
Our growth is 5.3.
Okay.
And NDC's growth was 2.1.
Okay.
It tells you a new man.
Projected growth.
Sammy.
Projected
you see,
growth.
I feel you would depend on projected
growth. No, Kabu. I can't say calf.
Sammy, and yes,
with all sincerity.
That is what we are discussing.
Hold on. With all sincerity. Meaning say Kabusu or background when it comes to basic economics. But who will be away a banker unim sikasem. When he says something is projected, they don't do any.
Sammy, so why didn't you put the 2021
because we are
just opposing it?
Yeah, make sense say 2021 and call IMF.
Now 2022 in junior way.
I say IMF.
And I'm saying junior way. So if you are giving me figures to indicate what your growth would be, aren't you using the latest
who
of
quoted this projected
now?
growth? Who quoted this projected growth? Is it not finance minister? It's the government.
So then why are you not speaking to it?
Okay, so then why are you also not talking about a liter of petrol? Why? That's the bread and butter.
Yes. And you know, share a new man. His Excellency President Nana Danko Akufo-Addo aye. We share one district, one factory. And no na extra say. We share your GDP at the time one. And you might have jilde. It is showing our GDP up.
Okay.
It is also showing our growth up. Okay. Sammy, about petrol. No about diesel. Sammy, you go to America, they are crying. You come to Nigeria, baby, to petrol crying. Sammy, petrol omu kiu omu nyabinto. And then you should know that we are now operating petrol in a deregulated market.
Okay.
A deregulated market where the government has no control over.
The basic thing is that. Yeah, the basic thing is that. So for 2015, I call IMF now. Offer a gallon of petrol. Offer a gallon of petrol. Sabre noir. Now, so what to tow a liter of petrol. A liter of petrol is much expensive than a gallon of petrol when you're going for IMF
and pick
2015.
A liter of petrol.
A
liter of petrol. Then, when President Mills was going into IMF, now you're saying.
But why minutes?
Now you're saying. A liter of petrol. Then, when President Mills was going into IMF,
look,
now you're saying.
As you are aware, one district, one factory. I always say it's one of the laudable way. Now, so look, they've not projected it in a way it will have an impact on the economy. Because why am I saying this? Look, Sammy, look, one company of John Dramani Mahama swallows everything of 1D, 1F. For example, Atwabo Gas. Atwabo Gas is $1 billion. Look, I can just give it to you. We have a share nut company. I'll tell you. We have. Hey, we have what? A share nut factory. We have a share Atwabo Gas. Atwabo Gas, yes. Because you were able to get about 40%. 40% of your gas. You can't build well.
Talk to what we have done. The economy we have built.
You have message.
Against your policy.
You have message. But make a message. Yemia Obo Patrick or say Nanaya Fabio from Sunyane West or Udumasi or say MPP people, they are not serious at all. You come and see how they have disgraced my hometown. Poor Rose no de Abba. Nanafia Hema and Yamachiao. Inusa Taylor, say good evening. Sanso Anna Yemia Stephen Watch or say good evening, dear. I'm enjoying the show. I say extend my warm greetings to Dr. Osu Efria Kutu, our Greek minister, or Chan as usual. Sanso Mammy Lydia, Eriche Ewo USA, Mammy was saying much as Papa. Yemia Pedro, as I say good evening, please. Watching you live, a year clear inside Indianapolis, Kumasi Tesano, Kumasi Tanoso. And the way every day abba. Now, main kind message back to me enough. You wrap up We see from the MPP man, how many times has transportation fare increased before the war? Will be question. I mean, don't mind the MPP man. He has forgotten that President Kufuor led President Atamils with single spine pay policy. MPP is worse as compared to NDC. Nana Temanode Abba. We see good evening, Sami. You see, these MPP people don't have shame. They told Ghanaian JDM and NDC and JDM and Ghanaians that JDM was super incompetent to send Ghana to IMF and that they will not go. If today MPP is engaging IMF to rescue the country, how do we refer to them? Baku message, say MPP should rather thank JDM by advising them to seek IMF bailout. We say good evening, boss. Please, the MPP man is still lying to Ghana. Let him start asking for forgiveness. We say good evening, please. I wish to know from the MPP man, when are they going to pay NAPCO trainee 9 months in arrears? We say my name is Joe Nana. Also now Atai now shame. 1 minute.
Sami, the Ebeka Ghana, and then IMF. We are going to IMF not because we have wasteful resources and because not that we lack resources. We are not going to IMF because in the era of John Dramani Mahama, 2013, now economic growth, now a decline. 2013 reduced from, it was 7.3%, 2024, 2.88%, 2016, 15, at about 2.1%. It kept dwindling and dwindling and dwindling.
Just tell him.
Under the award, telling you how abysmal the economy was.
Growth rate was 3.4. And this is a simple thing that look, the good people of Ghana knew. The good people of Ghana knew. Our debt is unsustainable.
Now
our debt to GDP is very ballooning. Inflation was
so this is what we have to
messages about